Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jimmy Poole. I told you that I was going to solve the Nipsey Hussle case, and today we're going to show you quite a lot of information that I found, and I can tell you right now there's a big cover-up going on. Modern day COINTELPRO. We're looking at a high-level job here. Nipsey was stepping on people's toes in the big pharma industry. He was uplifting the black youth, teaching people how to go independent, start making their own money. And that's where it all started going downhill from there. Kerry Latham actually holds the keys to completely exposing this whole COINTEL plot. All the people that were brought in, all the people that were involved, they all had some sort of conviction. For example, Herman, he's a sex offender. One other guy, he was involved in a big bank job. Kerry Latham, he is a murderer. And they approach these people, they offer them either to be released, lighter sentences, or, to get a pass, basically. And a lot of these snakes, they do it, and they sell out their own people. So let's move on to Kerry Latham, because this is probably one of the biggest bits of information that you need to really pay attention to. So this is the real guy. His name is not Kerry Latham, and he was imprisoned for murder, but he killed his girlfriend. And you can see from the picture right there, it's clearly him in his younger days. Well, this guy is not called Kerry Latham, because Kerry Latham is a made-up name. His name is Ronald Latham. Very similar, but this is his real name. His name is Ronald Latham. And if we know this piece of information, it will also show you that this guy was brought in by the COINTELPRO. He was offered to be released to retirement funds, and they pretty much give him a new identity. And they give him the name Kerry Latham, which is very similar. And you won't find any information or documents about the murder case for Kerry Latham, and that actually confirms that this is the guy. His name is Ronald Latham. He was also brought in to lie, and when we know that Ronald Latham was brought in, I then started digging, and I looked into his lawyer. And this is pretty much what uncovers the whole plot, exposes everything. Because Ronald Latham's lawyer comes from Noriega law firm. It gets deeper, and Nipsey's father was actually good friends with Assis Afwerki. And if you don't know who that is, that's the president of the place where Nipsey Hussle was born. Now this president, he is not controlled by the CIA, and he actually spoke out about the CIA in his country. There were illegal operations going on to try and overthrow him, and Nipsey and Black Sam and their father went to visit the president about a year or two before Nipsey's death. It gets deeper and deeper the more you look into it. Now let's go to Noriega law firm and check out, there we go, Lauren Noriega. This is big because this is how it all gets uncovered, and it actually goes all the way back to the war on drugs, Panama, and Mr. Noriega himself. The woman behind the firm could actually be a relation to Noriega. It's clearly a front company, but this all goes back to Manuel Noriega, and he was already exposed as a CIA agent, another turncoat. And when you know all this information, you can start piece together, the real truth, why these people were brought in to take out Nipsey Hussle, and make it look like some sort of gang violence. Similar to back in the day with Tupac, really. It was all made out to be East Coast, West Coast, when there was a lot of police involved, agents, people high up. So when you know about Ronald Latham, that weren't even his real name, like no one else has exposed that. I'm the first person to uncover this information. So, people need to get the word out, and we can start looking and getting out the truth. Like I said, Douglas Herman, sex offence charges still pending, and he was the main witness in the court case. Also, he was pretty much the main guy telling the whole narrative. That's how it works. They want to make sure they're on scene. Like, as a lot of people know, he was the first one there answering all the questions, telling you, what supposedly happened as soon, at the time. And that's so they can control the narrative. Shitty Cuz, what they call him, that guy, he clearly had mental issues. He was easy to coerce. He likely pumped about full of drugs. I'm going to put this info out, hopefully you can get this information out, start passing it around the communities, and try and get some justice for Nipsey. We could go over the footage all day and stuff like that, but I already pointed that out a few months back when this all happened. I assure there was dodgy stuff going on. Also, that white car that I mentioned, with the guy, he hasn't ever been mentioned. Very strange. Also, what I did notice is there was obviously a lot of alive theories going about at the time as well, and that was all based on this one mainstream media news clip, and I think that could have been done in that way to get the theories rolling, get people pushing that out there, because the more bullshit and confusion you got out there, it's harder to work it all out. But I can see through the lies, I can see through the deception, and Jimmy Poole is here to bring you the truth. Thanks for listening.